From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, June 13th, 2015. Silver is trading at $15.96 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,181 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $232. Antiwar.com reports recent concerns about sites from antiquity being damaged in war have mostly centered around the Islamic State occupations in Syria, but attention quickly turned south yesterday with the news that the World Heritage Site in the Yemeni capital city of Sana'a was the target of multiple airstrikes. UNESCO Director General Arana Bakova yesterday said she was profoundly distressed by the news that one of the oldest urban landscapes in the region came under fire from Saudi warplanes, and locals reported at least 5 civilians who lived in the area around the ancient neighborhood were killed. Sana'a's old city dates back to 2,500 years and is home to one of the oldest surviving mosques in the world. The extent of the damage is unclear, but several locals have released images showing some of the ancient buildings reduced to rubble in the wake of the strike. The extensive damage will likely continue to grow in the weeks and months to come, as most of the buildings in this ancient neighborhood were cemented together, and the fall of some is putting new pressure on the foundations of others, causing cracks across the area. ExpressCoin is the best choice for buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and more. ExpressCoin prides themselves on their customer service, so much so that the back end on the website should allow them to be even more focused on your needs. Get your cryptocurrencies with money order, check, wire transfer, or cash deposit. Get started at expresscoin.fppradio.com. That's expresscoin.fppradio.com. UPI reports nearly 1 in 10 men in the United States experience some form of depression or anxiety. However, less than half of them get treatment, according to a new study. Among men who experience either depression or anxiety, Black and Hispanic men were less likely than white men to either report mental health concerns or treat them if they did report them, according to a new study from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Stephen Blumberg, an associate director for science at the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics, told Health Day, "We suspect that there are several social and cultural pressures that lead Black and Hispanic men to be less likely than white men to seek mental health treatment." He said these pressures, which include ideas about masculinity and the stigma of mental illness, may be more pronounced in men of color, and these same forces may lead men of color to be more likely to deny or hide feelings of anxiety or depression. Researchers at the National Center for Health Statistics reviewed data collected in a poll of 21,000 men, finding that 8.5% had daily feelings of depression or anxiety, yet only 41% of these men took medication or sought treatment for the condition. Among men aged 18 to 44, Black and Hispanic men were 30% less likely to experience depression or anxiety. However, they were 7% less likely to seek treatment than non-Hispanic white men who experienced either one. For over 35 years, Robertson Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports federal prosecutors on Friday petitioned a judge to keep secret their evidence in the case against former U.S. House Speaker Dennis Hastert, who pled not guilty on Tuesday to charges of trying to hide cash transactions and lying to the FBI about it. Hastert had allegedly paid close to $2 million to an individual to conceal past misconduct, which was reportedly sexual contact with a male student while he was a teacher and coach in the 1960s and 70s. In a motion filed before Judge Thomas Durkin, who is hearing the Hastert case, prosecutors said sensitive information in the case should not be disseminated because it would adversely affect the privacy interest of third parties, and also said that Hastert's defense attorney does not oppose the motion. Prosecutors asked the judge to restrict distribution of material in the case to key defense personnel and witnesses, and asked that copies not be made without the court's permission. They also asked to submit under a court seal certain materials that they said were sensitive. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.